I'll just jump in. It's good to be back on. It's been several weeks, a little over a month, I think, since the last time at least I was able to be on a call. And I know that Cello and Scott have been coordinating more directly with each of the utilities to kind of talk about where you're at with the WISE program and kind of where you're headed from here. So looking forward to just kind of hearing about where we're at. But I want to just kick things off with an update about a workshop that is being planned for the entire WISE effort. This is kind of picking back up with being able to do an in-person workshop from where we left off a couple years ago. So we're hosting here at KC Water, and we want to encourage as many folks to jump on and attend. It's going to be September 12th through the 15th. So that's the second full week in September. It'll start on a Monday, and we'll finish on Thursday. So it'll start Monday afternoon, so give folks a chance to kind of travel in, and then we'll have a half day on Monday, 2 full days on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a half day Thursday morning, and then give a chance for folks to be able to travel out. And Cello and Scott have sent out an email to folks with the information on that workshop. I know they're also going to work on some follow-ups to encourage folks to attend. We've got, there's a hotel we've got not too far from our office, Holiday Inn Express, pretty good pricing for that, knowing that folks are working with tight budgets. We also are planning to host, the meetings and the activities here at our office on Tuesday and Wednesday with breakout groups. Depending on how large the group is, we've got a large room to be able to gather for kind of the kickoff sessions on Monday and the closeout on Thursday. Cello and Scott are still working through, I think, the details on all of the activities planned for, in terms of the sessions and the collaboration and conversations that we would have during those sessions. So yeah, so I hope some folks here on this team, this call, can make it and check it out, and we're looking forward to it. So, Cello, anything to add on that?
I was hoping you should have received an email from Scott or from me or from Lisa McFadden or from Dan about the workshop with a link that says how to sign up, and with the information about the phone number to call in the Holiday Inn Express directly. That seems to be and mention that you're there for the workshop to get the rate. That seems to be the most effective way, and it'll be very helpful if you think that you will attend, even if you're not 100% sure to quite yet to sign up, because one of the reasons we have not really put out the agenda yet is because we want this to be interactive and for utility partners to be really presenting and discussing, and we would kind of like to know who's going to be there when we finalize the agenda. We have an outline, but we want to put it together so that utilities have as much opportunity for interaction rather than just like a one-way communication from the lectern and stuff like from the podium. That'd be really good. That would give us a sense for what we're going to have at the workshop and how to organize the breakout sessions and stuff like that. Right, Dan? That makes sense?
Yeah. And Cello, it looks like Naomi's sent a note in the chat that she's already registered. So.
Oh, that's right. Wonderful. That's wonderful.
That's great.
So any questions about the September workshop? Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great way to network with people. Obviously, we've met each other via Teams, but many of us never actually met in person. So I think it's a great opportunity to do that. And Cello didn't mention, we also have some dinners planned each night for the groups to be able to do some dinner activities together. So not only work during the day, but also a little bit of fun in the evenings as well. So
yeah, that was really in the past, these in-person workshops, which we've been having a bit of trouble with COVID and everything to organize lately, have been really, people have enjoyed them a lot.
Well, I'm thinking leave a few daylight hours to see beautiful Kansas City as well.
yes, for sure. And September is a great time to be here as well. So this week, I think we're anticipating 100+ degree days. Typically not that hot in mid-September, so but still pleasant.
Good. So I'm gonna, oops, yeah, I'm gonna just say a few words about the work plan for July and August. I'm getting so many responses, people on vacation. I think you're gonna be gone next week, right, Dan? Yeah. So what we've shifted for the summer months, we've shifted the strategy about communication with utilities a little bit. We did it last year as well, because we then talked to utilities individually about the program and the work and topics about WISE to see how the program team can help. So the big part of our effort this summer will be to get prepared for next year when utilities would do the pilot implementations of WISE methodology. This is a list of utilities that we have right now with the business processes that they have selected. So what we're doing, Scott and I and Mike Barnett, is making sure that we provide assistance to each utility team as they proceed with this. And so when we get together in September, it'd be really a good time to kick off all these efforts, although some of them have already been initiated. So not everything is updated in this table. So for example, in San Francisco, there are, we have been getting some diagrams already from Noemi, some models, but not on all the items that are listed here, but we're getting up to speed. So I would, if you have any questions or concerns about these pilots, please let me know. I'm looking for something. Give me just a second. We put together a folder called 2022 pilots, and then there's a workspace. Some of the stuff I'll be showing today is from this workshop, is from this workspace. It includes the spreadsheets for the process and technology assessment, for change management, not yet for people. That's a different topic. We have the assessment tool in place, but we just haven't put it into this folder. So any questions about the work plan or concerns or thoughts? No? Okay, let me just make sure that I can see the chat and capture that as well to see if somebody's... Okay, cool. So the next thing that I want to mention today, and I don't think we're going to need a full hour today, and I knew that the attendance was going to be a little bit lighter, is we've been making some updates to the WISE documentation of the methodology of the tools and planning for guidelines. And I'll show you what, based on the feedback that we've been receiving. So let me just see where it is. Give me just 1 second, please. So people were concerned about this is overwhelming, this is too many boxes, this is confusing. So on the previous chart that there was too much information. So this is a newer streamlined version, and this is posted, this documentation is posted, but it kind of brings it all together like the rug in that Big Lebowski movie, you know, it just kind of pulls the things together. So if we start in the upper left corner with this preliminary planning, we can see that there, what happens is that the vision and goals get defined, the business process gets selected, identify key challenges, who's responsible for what, communication strategy, get commitment and approval from management. And then once this is in place, then if it's you know, to initiate the improvement processes, to put together some sort of a charter, to figure out priorities, focus, schedule, resource allocation, and provide orientation for key stakeholders. So the remainder of these slides just kind of shows different things that a utility could select to do, because they don't have to go through all these steps that I showed on the first diagram, because they can, for example, only focus on workforce and organizational culture, in which case their diagram would look like this. If what's in scope is only workforce organizational culture, they go through tier 1 and tier 2 assessments, which have been completed after a year of collaborative work, define what they need to change and to go from as is to be state to make the changes, and then assess the change management readiness of the organization for that specific change, and then prepare project and management plan to implement improvements. So this is kind of streamlined so people can look at a piece, one piece at a time. And if the scope is to look into process and technology, then the step is to assess the business process and the technology aspect. And they are in the same spreadsheet. We put them in the spreadsheet format because people are a bit easier to distribute, and people like working in spreadsheets. They're familiar with it and stuff like that. So I guess, you know, the first step would be to assess the business process and the technology aspect. And I can just give you a glimpse of what that looks like. It is also posted. Oh, sorry. So the first page of the spreadsheet starts with the same map, and then overall, and then shows what part of that map is covered by this assessment. And then there's, you know, there are different pages for just gonna put the things in context, and this is where the tool starts. We've gone through this in the past, just basically identifying who's involved, what are their roles. So, and then look at what kind of documentation we have for the process, what the goals are, and what are the metrics. And I understand some people said this is difficult, but if we don't ask questions like who's involved in this process, who is, you know, who are the participants, what kind of documentation do we have, what goals are we trying to accomplish, are we measuring these goals and tracking them, those questions have to be answered. It's much cheaper to answer them up front. And then this light blue two worksheets are on the technology. I'm not going to go there because it's kind of involved, but just wanted to give you a taste that the things are in place. And these things here are drop-down menus based on the configuration that's always shown above. I've shown this a couple of times. Some people maybe were not in these meetings. I just want to briefly pause and see if there are any questions. No. Okay.
Hey, Chill, I got a quick question for
Sure.
you. You know, we we did a little testing on these tools kind of early on. Have there been any other folks that have kind of taken it for a test run that you've been working with?
One utility is going through that right now, MCES. That's why Scott is not here. Scott Haskins is helping them out. So we're going to get one. After this week, we're going to start getting more data points. But to the best of my knowledge, others have not. But I haven't been able to talk to Duncan in a while. I'm not sure. He's not here today. So to the best of my knowledge, only MCES has actually gone through these things in terms of implementing. Some other people have reviewed but not implemented.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was helpful for us to kind of go through the exercise, and like you said, it looks kind of like a lot, but once you get into it and start digging in, it makes sense, and you can kind of adjust how you use the assessment depending on your needs. So like in our case, we had a smaller process, so we had a much smaller group, and we maybe didn't answer every single question, but just going through the exercise kind of helped us think about what we needed to do, or some ideas for improvement. So yeah, it's a good stuff.
Well, thank you very much. And I think that it looks kind of complex initially, but it's really, and these are just examples that and explanations that I provided here. So it's really not that nearly as demanding as it looks. So that's that's this assessment tool. So we're revising and improving these tools as we go along based on the feedback. The next, okay, the next step is, this assessment that I just showed you, and this is a little bit of explanation for what these spreadsheets that I just showed you, what they do. After that, when is the analysis of process and technologies issues for that process, to see whether, how we're doing with understanding these items on the right, and just kind of quickly to go through, not to belabor the point too much. If we're then designing the to-be process, we're in this part of the diagram, we're doing the modeling again, and so design of the new to-be process is documented, and then the changes that are required are documented in detailed business process models as well. So then the next step is to prepare project and change management plan. And for that, we need to have this change management readiness for the organization. So this is just a kind of a quick overview. And it is in the posted in that workspace, a little bit about, change management plan and stuff like that. So let me stop sharing for a little bit. So these are the things that the project team is doing to help utilities conduct these assessments, conduct analyses and stuff like that. So that's would be really beneficial to do these within these pilot studies when you actually, and it's helpful to keep to select a process and focus that's manageable. I have a little bit concerned some of the processes that have been identified are kind of significant, and we'll see maybe if we can just scale it down and just do sub-process to make things less, to make it easier, and then apply the same approach to another sub-process. So I want to see if there are any comments or thoughts on this. Okay.
Hi, this is Deb. I like it. I think it's cleaner.
Okay, good. Yeah, before I had people who said too many arrows, too many words, too many boxes. So this is, I think, hopefully a little bit cleaner. Any thoughts do people want to offer, or is there anything in your own plans that you would need assistance with, clarification or anything? Okay. So
I think we're good. We just need to get kind of back into it again, and back onto it. So we kind of step back a little bit.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
good. And as I said, this is kind of happened last year as well in July and August. Things start getting a little bit better in the second part of August, but right now it's been kind of, people have been kind of busy. So I know that a couple of people have to jump off at 8 or 11, but any other thoughts that we can discuss today? Any questions that you have? Because it's really now about, let's go out and use these things on the specific tools, on the specific topics that you've selected. Any thoughts, Dan, on from your experience? It was not so burdensome, right?
No, yeah, like I said, it was helpful just to get into the tool and use start using it, and like I say, recognizing that you can kind of adapt it to, what your need is, and really use it just to help you move things forward.
So one of the things I can mention just briefly, and I'm hoping that we could wrap it up by the top of the hour, is that we are considering changing the delivery mechanism for the people assessment, because to provide it using Microsoft Forms is places a burden on the organization. Dan knows that I've worked with Parijat. It's really not that easy. Microsoft Forms were not really built for something like this. And so we are considering other tools, including using facilitated meetings with Mentimeter, which is anonymous. So to give people a different way to choose Mentimeter to get results instantly, and then use Excel to process it, store it, and report on it. So we've already done this on the change management side. So we're thinking about maybe simplifying it looked really nice with Power BI and all that, but it was a bit of a burden for people to really get to use it. Okay. Any other thoughts or ideas? It seems like when Scott's not around, I'm having trouble having people engaged a little bit more, but it is Monday morning.
That's right. He's your partner in crime, but no, that's all right. So good to get everybody back together, kind of start things up again. And I guess too, just as a reminder, and also just maybe a question too, is the annual cycle right now on the WISE membership in the calendar is that September 1st really kind of kicks off the next annual cycle for WISE. Now, of course, the way we're engaging the program, if you've already started on some work, it's really just kind of continuing the work that you've already been doing. But in terms of the WEF membership cycle, September 1st is the start. So that was kind of part of the thought on having a workshop, in early September, was to kind of kickstart the year, kind of gain or rebuild some momentum, and hopefully too we'll have some new utility partners that will be also engaging at that stage too. So any other comments on that, Cello?
No, that's a really excellent point. And we have oh, Jenny's joining. Hi, Jenny. we're having a little bit shorter meeting, so we're just about to wrap it up, but we'll connect a little bit later this morning, Jenny. So I'll give you an update. So I think that's it for the day, and then I will keep pinging people, and please don't hesitate to contact me if there's anything that Mike Barnett or I or Scott can do to help with these pilots and with these efforts, because that we want to make sure that's really the big thing, is to start make things happening on there.
Hey, just real quick, Cello, before we sign off.
Sure.
For the September renewal of how are we invoiced on that? Because I think I just received an email from you initially.
Well, this is WEF's. WEF is supposed to do all that, and they're the ones who would contact. They're the. I don't see that part, but WEF.
Yeah, I need to figure that out, because I need to know where if it goes to somebody's email or whatever who's retired, I'll never see it.
Yeah, I will send an email to Lisa. And Lisa McFadden from WEF, and urge her to send out communication soon to clearly explain and to also identify, make sure that the contacts are still there in the organization, that it's going to the right place and everything. So I will, I'm just writing myself a note. I will send her an email right after this call, but that's a great point.
And let's see, just, I don't know if nobody else has anything on your agenda slide. You had 2 business processes listed for the SFPUC. Noemi will be attending in September and will be representing the asset onboarding, but the probation one, I'm not sure. That's in a different part of the organization. If that's even I'm not even sure we're even working on that one at this stage, because my business services group has changed drastically.
Okay, well, it is, this is what I had, but it will be, I think, updated. There are some utilities who are not listed here who are considering other processes. So this was just the latest. You can see that I have 2 lines for SFPOC, this one, and then one. So it's really not a problem. And if it's better for me to take it out of this list, I can do whatever.
This is Noemi, Cello. Sorry to interrupt you, but probably we have, I don't remember now, but we have been working on decommissioning assets and onboarding assets.
Yes.
So there'll be 2 at least, but yeah, for promotion or whatever. Probation,
so maybe change the probation one to decommissioning assets.
Okay, yes, absolutely. I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me just stop the recording, and then I will